pills, and we are off in our second semifinals game of this January 25 Silver Speed bracket. Pretty decent board for Slay to start off with here. Little bit of a staircase situation though with those reds at the top, JB.
Yeah, but a great just use of the blue reds just to knock things down and just getting the garbage off the board. Slay's just going to need something to break through the board here. There's not really a lot of real estate to get through, and it looks like going to be breaking through off of column one. Meanwhile, Pullman playing some really strong game, playing a bit of a scattered board here, and is down to 20 viruses to go. A lot of yellow on that top line, and we really would like to see some red and blue so Pullman can start knocking down column eight because I think that's going to be the pain point here, Flendo.
Yeah, but Pullman had a really nice all yellow sweet tea there on the left side of his board. Really nice to see. Looking back at Slay's board, 10 viruses remaining for him. Trying to get down to this horizontal blue and clear that out. Gonna need some reds to do it though. This red blue will be perfect for him. Wondering if he's gonna try and build up and try to take these reds out horizontally, stacking those blues up. I think that's exactly what he wants to do.
Yeah, and I think he's also just making sure. Oh no, I see what he's doing. Okay, he's going to try to drop a big fat combo down the center of the board here. Going to have to be very careful with the next red, and now actually doesn't because there's the two, and then there's the blue, and then there's the yellow out at a 137. Excellent finish there for every time we slay.
Yeah, but T Pullman really not too far behind. Just gonna need one, two, three, four more yellows here to get out. Takes a little bit of drop time to open up that yellow. Just waiting. Come on, game. One, two more will do it for T Pullman. There we go. Out at a 156. About an 8 virus deficit. Now a 10 virus deficit behind Slay for T Pullman. But again, we've seen T Pullman do some amazing stuff in this tournament already. I feel like he's more than capable of getting caught back up here.
Yeah, and there's something to be said about being a new player in your first tournament and advancing and playing a level block for the first time. There is a lot of adjustment. You wouldn't think too much of it, but with the higher concentration of viruses, there's definitely a little bit more planning that goes into this level block than say a 4 to 7. I mean, Flindo, you know this from transitioning to say 6 to 9 to 8 to 11, or even up to those gold semifinal and final uh, blocks that there's much different game to be played at those blocks.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting close to the semifinals here, getting so close to the finals, these players are feeling the pressure, and it's been really close so far between these two players. It's only a one virus game. Now there is a about a 4 second timer differential that we'll have to keep an eye out on. But what a combo from
Wow.
T Pullman. Holy cow, that was amazing.
Yeah, he definitely pulled one off there. And I have not been saving that joke. I don't know what you're talking about. Moving on here, though, we've got two viruses for our two players here, and it looks like an underclear is likely going to be required for this final red for every time we slay. And meanwhile, it's looking like I think Pullman is not going to enjoy
Oh,
this. Oh, okay, there we go. I was thinking Pullman maybe going for the horizontal blue is going to be very disappointed and buried, but both players out right around the same time here as we are halfway through our first game.
yeah, and Slay immediately has a mistuck on the left side of his board with those red yellows. Wanted those flipped the other way. Hopefully he's able to clear that out pretty soon here. Getting that red yellow is definitely going to be a step in the right direction for him. Meanwhile, T Pullman, this board looking really nice here. Now he does have a little bit of garbage in the form of yellows that he's able to clear out immediately with a couple double yellows. This board looks absolutely squeaky clean for Pullman.
Yeah, Pullman playing fantastic. Slay playing pretty good as well. A little bit of mess on column one, but really, I think holding out for a red yellow to just get the vertical drop here. But it does look like we're starting to see some separation here. Pullman down to 15 viruses, Slay down to 21. And Slay, I think, really just trying to hope for some combos here and just not having them go their way. But a good clear 17 viruses to go, now down to 16, as Pullman's still playing just an incredibly righteous board here. Just all sorts of good plays here. Really just hoping for a blue yellow or blue red gets it, and now really can take control of this game and start thinking about level 9.
Yeah, absolutely. And Slay has just been really, really trying to get through this board. I think that starting misdrop with the red yellows, I think kind of threw him off a little bit. Shake it off, bro. You're all right. Pullman gets out at a 521 and has a really demanding lead here over Slay. And this double blue perfect. Oh, and it's
Doesn't,
okay, Pullman.
yeah.
It's okay. It's okay.
I actually like that decision. To wait, look at the next one, saw there was another double blue and make a setup, and actually really just did an excellent job opening salvo of clearing off so much of that top line. So sometimes you see that double pill color and you see the two viruses and you salivate and get ready for a double clear. Sometimes it's wait and see what else can play on the board there, and it was greatly demonstrated there by T Pullman. Pullman's problem right now, though, not a lot of yellow to work with.
Yeah, only 2 yellows total on this board for T. Pullman. But speaking of yellows, Slay is also needing a couple of yellows to get out. Just needs one more. There it is, out at a 621. Joins T. Pullman in this final level with a 24 virus deficit. Now, it's not over yet for Slay. T. Pullman's got to have a lot of red and a lot of blue to finish this off. Mostly blue, honestly. But that was a great little tuck to get a lightning bolt from Pullman.
Yeah, Pullman is slowing down a little bit. That's not necessarily a bad thing. We don't know if he's watching his opponent's progress or not, but I think he's realizing, hey, maybe I just need to slow it down a little bit here. But still just playing phenomenal here. Great set of horizontal clears coming, and is going to be out here almost sub 7 territory, which for your first competitive 6 to 9 run is absolutely insane. Out at a 7:05, what a time!
Yeah, T. Pullman does take game one. We will go on to game two. Slay seeing the writing on the wall, gonna go ahead and get reset here. Not gonna finish this one out. Keep the stream moving. We appreciate that. Um, but yeah, T. Pullman, what a showing here today.
Yeah. Our chat here for those watching the VOD talking about the board game Dominion, uh, which I'm a big fan of. So big shout out to Dominion. Love me some deck building games. All right, Pullman going to take a 1-0 lead here, and we are going to get reset.
Reminder, the winner of this goes on to play Archer Lewis in the finals. Every time we slay, would love to take this and force us into our first decider of the game, of the day. Excuse me, day game. One of those, both of those,
Words
actually.
are hard.
Yeah.
But we do have readies, and we are ready to go. 3, 2, 1, and pills. Off we go here. Game number 2 in this best of 3. Winner will move on to the January Silver Finals and will face Archer Lewis. If you're Pullman, if you're the winner and your name is Every Time We Slay, you just get bonus Dr. Mario for right now. But Slay's off to an amazing start here, Flendo. Just a couple of really nice single pill clears, just really opening up the center of the board.
Yeah, the problem for Slay though is exactly that. The center of his board is open, and there's a red staircase on the left side, and he's gonna have to be really careful, or else he's gonna be suffering some pretty tremendous drop time here if he overhangs anything down the center of the board. And
Mm-hmm.
he is doing a great job of trying to avoid that. Now, meanwhile, looking over at T. Pullman, a lot of yellow, a lot of blue on this board for him. Potentially could set up for a drop into a yellow horizontal into a blue drop. Would have to have a yellow blue to do it though. We'll see if he waits for that or just goes ahead and clears that out a different way.
Yeah, Slay is almost playing this like Packy would after a loss, just absolutely aggressively here. But I'm loving this horizontal play, getting the sweet tea as well. And then that just leaves the single red. This is going to be out at a minute 20. An amazing run to start for every time we slay.
Yeah, absolutely. Slay knows his back is up against the wall here. He's got to win this if he wants another chance to win a silver bracket here in this first match or this first silver tournament of 2025. He would really love to have that under his belt. T. Pullman, there's that yellow blue that we were looking for. Now the issue is he's got his vertical yellows covered up by a little bit of a red garbage here. And that double red perfect for him though opens that up. Now if I'm T Pullman, I think I actually start to work on those yellows on the right before clearing out the yellows in the center of his board. It's not what he did, and it didn't end up mattering anyway. Added a 205, but I think he knows he's a little bit behind here.
Yeah, and we're going to see if he decides to turn on the aggression. We haven't been seeing Pullman play behind all that much. He did have a very competitive game with the Dave in the previous round, but really just haven't been seeing him in a deficit sort of situation all tournament. But Slay is just absolutely crushing this here, looking for an otter chance to play some Dr. Mario competitively here, down to 2 viruses, and now just looking for 3 yellows. There's 1, there's 2, and there is 3. Out at a 245. That is averaging under 90 seconds per level. Excellent start here from Slay.
Yeah, absolutely. These are times that we're used to seeing in our gold bracket. So, for to have Slay do this, he really ought to be happy about that. And he really ought to be happy about this starting board. It's been pretty good. Starting to move through those blues is going to be great for Slay. Meanwhile, looking over back at T. Pullman, looks like he's wanting to take these reds in 6 and 7 horizontally. He's going to have to
Mm-hmm.
do a little bit of building to take that up. We'll see if he does decide to go for that.
I really, this is going to be a nice horizontal here. It does block off access to red. I just really like how patient Slay is playing 8 here. Yeah, the board is a little messy, but clears are happening, and they're happening at a pretty good clip here. And, with just the rock solid start that Slay has had, you can definitely afford to slow things down a little bit here and just continue to soar. And oh, I would love to see some red here for Slay as well. Slay not laying that blue yellow flat. That would have really helped to set up a horizontal clear. But as it stands, 6 viruses to go on level 8 here is every time we Slay just continuing to play a fantastic game of Dr. Mario.
Yeah, you see Slay taking that red sweet tea across the right side of his board. He had that set up for quite some time and gets that horizontal yellow. Now just needing some reds. T. Pullman, a bit of the situation here. Now, that red blue, he does have the opportunity to drill that down in column 2 and get a really big combo out of it. I don't know if he saw it. Gets it that way instead. Great clears there by T. Pullman, but is behind the 8 ball here quite a bit. Every time we Slay already into his level 9, 36 viruses remaining, trying to get some blue help to get out of that situation at the top of his board.
Yeah, and really just persisting here. And one thing I was just noticing is Slay's PB on this block is 7 minutes and 4 seconds. With the rate Slay is going, Slay has an opportunity to shave a minute off of that PB, which is absolutely insane. So just really, really great play here by Slay and great vision. And then just 2 pills, and we just saw a bunch of viruses come off the board. Just amazing play here as it is 520 out and into level 8 for T. Pullman here. T. Pullman a little bit on the struggle bus, but continuing to persist here and playing some solid Dr. Mario. It's just we're seeing the best 6 to 9 block we've ever seen every time we Slay play.
Yeah, absolutely. And for Pullman, if you're gonna have a game like this, you want it to be where you're one game ahead and your opponent is just playing out of their minds. for right now, T. Pullman can afford to have this game, but if Slay does end up taking this, which he's going to at this point, um, what T. Pullman's got to do now is just shake this game off, put it behind him, go into game 3, and take care of business.
Yeah, just T Swift, shake it off, you know. One to go here for every time we slay, and Slay is going to be out at a 621, which is a PB by quite a bit for every time we slay. So well done to every time we slay, and get out the bird seed and witchy hats, folks. The crows are coming.
Indeed, get your caws in the chat. We have ourselves our first silver decider of January of 2025. Actually, I'm here. I'm all for it. I'm excited. This is exactly what we want to see in a semifinals match. The winner goes on to play Archer Lewis in the finals. The loser turns off their stream potentially and watches with the rest of us.
Still not a bad consolation, honestly. I
Yeah,
mean, we've seen some phenomenal play throughout this entire silver bracket, and I think Pullman may, I don't know here. Pullman, I think, just gonna run this one out here. And again, Pullman is playing, you know, at a 720, 721, which in silver is a very competitive time. But Slay was just absolutely on one, and it showed there. Wanted to keep this competitive, so this also gives Archer Lewis a little bit more time to practice. Maybe an unintended consequence, but we'll see how things go here. We just need 4 more levels beaten. We've got a ready from Slay, and we've just waiting on T Pullman. All right, we've got that ready from T Pullman. So we may have an ad break.
yeah.
So while we
I
have that ad break,
just came out of the ad break on my end.
okay. Well, I was going to say be sure to follow us as well on our YouTube channel, which is the Dr. Mario Championship. And be sure to join us. We're going to have our live events announced here relatively soon. Chris Bidwell is working on that 2025 versus calendar for you, and I'm excited to see all of you again. 2024 was such a great year, and hopefully 2025 is a lot of fun for everybody as well.
Yeah, we have our re-readies from Slay and Pullman. Here we go. Caw caw. The crows are excited. I'm excited. I know you're excited, JB. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Pill.
Interesting start here for every time we slay. Has a lot of opportunities here. I was hoping to see a double blue for that horizontal early, but didn't quite get it. Down to 25. A lot of yellow and blue. Well, not anymore, but now it's a lot of red and yellow on that top line for T Pullman here. As these players still pretty even early on, and we're going to get a sweet T here from Pullman.
Yeah, really nice play there by Pullman. Both of these boards, I was looking at and was like, huh, how do you start? How do you get into this board? And they've both done pretty well with what they've been given. T. Pullman needing a lot of yellow and a lot of blue to get down into his mid game. Slay would really love a red yellow right now and get a monster combo there. Oh,
Oh,
but takes it
oh
down a little bit
no.
with that. Double yellow would be great for Slay now.
Yeah, and then we saw the one drop, I think, just kind of compound into a misplay in column 8. So still a lot of game left to play, but that's a tough unforced error early on. And we're going to get that double. Yep, we are. Okay, great. Sometimes you just see those plays and you're like, please get them. That's a good play. Uh, but 8 viruses to 3 here. Pullman holding on to an advantage here and just needing 1 yellow, and he'll be out.
Yeah, now looking at Slay's board, if he goes and takes this blue horizontally, then the yellows will drop down, and that garbage will be a little bit of gold, but he's got to, oh, and this double blue, perfect, and he is going to go for that. And I think right now, if I'm Slay, aside from building up the platform to that, do exactly that with what he did with that double yellow and stack
Oh,
it up. Oh, interesting. He went ahead and took out the yellows at the bottom. Also a good play. But now just waiting on this last yellow. 206 out for Slay. A little bit behind, but it's still early on.
yeah, about a dozen viruses, and this looks to be a little bit better of a start for every time we slay. A good combo to start, and then another little tuck play here is going to get the yellow to come off the board, and now has opened up the board a little bit. I would love to see a lot more blue here for Slay. Meanwhile, Pullman is just on that blue yellow train here. 11 viruses to go and just has everything going right. That nice quad clear with the drill play. And yeah, if you can get the double yellow, why not go for it? 6 viruses to go here for T Pullman. Now 5. Slay down to 11. But Flindo, I really like this end game for Slay.
Yeah, and Slay's just done a really nice job in this entire level. It's been such a better level for him. But T Pullman's going to be out first at a 301. But again, for Slay, he's done a really nice job getting back into this. Now has the opportunity to take these reds out horizontally and de-sandwich those yellows, which I think is the ideal play if he can get the reds.
Yeah, it looks like he will, and will be out at a 328. So is going to have to play Pullman here. Pullman up by about 11 viruses, but Pullman has opened up the middle of their board. And Flindo, you did talk about this earlier. If you're going to open up the board, the middle of the board early game is really, really rough on you.
Yeah, he's going to be dealing with some drop time here, but a nice T there into another vertical drop. Really nice plays here by T Pullman. And I said earlier, T Pullman watches a lot of Dr. Mario and he watches a lot of the top players. And honestly, that's one of the best things you can do to improve your game is just watch the best players, see what they do, try to incorporate that into your own play style. And I think that's a lot of what we've been seeing from T Pullman here today.
Absolutely, and everybody's got their play style. Some people are down pressers. Some people are swimmers, tuckers. Some people play the combo game. There's just so many different ways to play this game in a fun and efficient way. So really, just seeing two different play styles on perspective here, and it really feels like Pullman is just trying to adapt speed styles here just so he can continue to roll on. But he's out at a 439, continuing to hold on to a pretty sizable lead here as he is looking to punch his ticket to the finals. And would be one of the first people I think ever. I think Resomatic was another one who in their first tournament won the whole thing.
Yeah, there's been a couple for sure, but yeah, they would be joining great uh, a great host of characters for T Pullman if he's able to pull this off. Looking at Slay's board, you would really love to get this red horizontally and drop these yellows or excuse me, the blues. Colors are hard into column one, and he's got the setup for that, especially with the red rush. And in exactly the right time, he saw that red yellow. Now just waiting on 2 more blues. Here's one out at a 538. But with T Pullman with 12 viruses remaining, it's going to take something absolutely detrimental on Pullman's side for Slay to get back into this.
Yeah, Pullman's going to need a series of disasters to happen, really, for Slay to remain competitive in this. But don't tell Slay that, because Slay is still just trying to keep this one going here. And Slay not playing aggressively, just continuing to play the standard here, just trying to play efficiently. And not be too aggressive on the plays here, but it is going to be Pullman here with these sets of double blues out at a 611. Good Lord, what a time! And that will put T Pullman into the finals here. And 611 is a great time for silver. Wow.